Hey Dennis, I've really been thinking about getting a used Model 3 Tesla, the ones that are around 100,000 miles, 15 to $20,000 range. But I'm a little hesitant, so maybe you could go through a little bit, kind of the pros and cons. Is it worth it buying now or maybe waiting? So if you could hit me up on that, that'd be great.
Sweet. Thanks for that, Michael. And so, yes, there's definitely a very interesting time right now because there's definitely a ton of prices, low prices like this for Tesla Model 3s that have depreciated, and they certainly are taking even more depreciation right now because the new Model 3 is out, the new Model 3 Performance is out, and so certainly you could keep waiting to see what happens. But in terms of the used car time frame, there are a couple of elements and a couple of factors that you have to be aware about. It's tax season right now, or taxes are going to be due by March, April, give or take. And on top of that, when people do their taxes, guess what they get? They get like a refund or a tax refund, which could be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. On top of that, you add on spring fever, where it's nice weather out, and certainly people just want to buy a new thing or a nice thing or treat themselves. And so that could be something where you might want to get ahead of that and try and buy a vehicle now beforehand. But in terms of the landscape of the used Model 3 side, I mean, there's certainly tons of 2021s, 2022s that are well priced. Another thing that was added on this year, I guess my first question is, do you qualify for the used EV tax credit? Because if you do, then I would primarily be looking at 2022s and 2023s. My favorite resource when I'm looking for used vehicles is I like going to cars.com and AutoTrader and all these different things, but I actually like looking at Facebook Marketplace as well, because Facebook Marketplace are real people that are selling vehicles. Of course, there's dealers on there as well, because I like negotiating with real people because they only have a couple different options when they're selling their vehicle. They can either sell it to CarMax, Carvana, or sell to you as a person. So what I actually do is I go to websites like Car Buyer USA and I try and find what the wholesale value of that said vehicle that they're selling is and try and negotiate around that price range. And so let's say you find like a 2022 Tesla Model 3 that's like an all-wheel drive in your area. Let's say it's got 100,000 miles that you're looking for. I like to try it, and I'll put the vehicle like in just like this. I'll click get offer and I'll see that the wholesale value is like 17.5, 17.7. And so my offer will usually start about $1,000 to $2,000 right above that, because I kind of know if that seller is really looking to sell, they're getting the same similar offers from like CarMax, Carvana, and also Car Buyer USA as well. And so trying to figure out what the wholesale value is important, and then structuring that deal a little bit higher. If you do qualify for the used EV tax credit, then using like websites like KeySavvy can get you that $4,000 used EV tax credit. KeySavvy kind of acts like that broker or dealer in between you and also the seller, so that you can get that $4,000 EV tax credit as well. And so certainly I would primarily try and stick in the 2022 to 2023s, and I would try and use Car Buyer USA to try and find that value of what price that could actually be at. On top of that, we do have auction access, and so certainly I can pull up 2022s and see what type of values they're going for at the auction, and we can see that 2022 Tesla Model 3 all-wheel drive long range is interesting. They're actually holding pretty steady in that right under $25,000 price range, which is very interesting because of the tax credit. You have to buy under $25,000 to get that $4,000 EV tax credit. And the last thing is like Hertz EV sales. I know it could get a bad rap because these are rental vehicles, but from what I feel and seen, Tesla vehicles are pretty, not bulletproof, but they hold up well in terms of all the different electronics. So I really wouldn't be worried. Like here's a 2023 right now that does qualify for the tax credit at $21,569, and it's got 72,000 miles. The last tip I have is warranty. So 100,000 miles, yes, you're not going to have that 4-year, 50,000 bumper to bumper mile warranty, but you will still have a little bit of that battery and drivetrain unit warranty. If you're getting a long range, a Model 3 long range gets 8 years, 120,000 miles. A standard range only gets 8-year, 100,000 miles. And so I would not look at a rear-wheel drive at all. Actually, if I was getting one with 100,000 miles, I I would want to get it if a Model 3 long range with 100,000 miles, because then that gives me about 20,000 miles at the end of it to see if anything goes wrong. So I've got 20,000 miles of buffer so I can go to Tesla service and everything. Hopefully this video helped, Michael. Thank you for submitting your question to the breakdown. If you want to submit your question to the breakdown, definitely check out the link down below in the description so you can submit a video to us and we'll answer your questions live on stream. But let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you're thinking. If you got comments down below, drop it, and also in the live stream chat as well.